Okay, welcome to part 2 of the digital online learning community, Foldable. If you haven't finished and submitted part 1 yet, please go back and watch the previous video. So if you're watching this video, you should have already submitted the document on Schoology. And what I've done for you is I've already printed this out for you. So for this section, the materials that you're going to need are scissors. So I have scissors here. You're going to need a glue stick. So I have a glue stick here. Colored pencils. Make sure that when you grab the colored pencils, you grab an entire bin. Don't just grab 1 or 2 pencils out of the bin because it kind of mixes things up. We want to keep these packs together. You may also want to use markers. Same thing with the markers. Make sure that you keep them in the bin. You grab an entire bin when you're grabbing these. You also need a long piece of paper. So if you've already started one, great. If not, just go over to the bin. Remember, you're folding it in half twice so that you have 4 equal sections here. And the last part is a printout with the rubric and paper clip. So this is something that I printed out for you. So if you go over to your folder, so here we have the block 1 folder, and if you open this folder up, you're going to notice that I printed this out for you. So you can grab this. It should be paper clipped together, and with this, I'm going to remove my paper clip to show you. And what I've printed out for you are your 2 pages, so there should be 2 pages. And I've also attached a rubric to this, so you're going to need all of this. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut this out. So I'm going to make this full screen for you. So you're carefully going to cut along these edges here. So I'm going to take my scissors very carefully, and I'm going to cut out these boxes. And through the magic of cinema, we have our cutout pieces here, and we have our trash. Make sure that you crumple your trash up, and make sure that this makes its way into the trash can. All right? Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is using the glue stick, you are going to glue the written part to this paper here. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. Move my camera down here so you can see what I'm doing. So it always works best if you glue in a box and then make an X in the middle here. So I'm going to take my glue stick, and I'm just going to make a box here, and then I'm going to draw an X in the middle. Then I'm going to take my fold out paper, and I'm going to glue my boxes all on one side. So you're going to glue all of these boxes on one side. So the end product should look like this. So now you're going to start designing your image. I want you to think about this like designing a cover or a poster for each one of these. So for, say, something substantial here, this is what Deja drew on here. So you want to make sure that the illustration is interesting and clever. I want you to think about how to draw in your audience and add interest to your work. So how can you draw in your audience and really make this interesting? You can practice on sketch paper if you need to. So this is Deja's example here. So make sure that when you're drawing, that you're drawing on the back. So this one says, say something substantial up here. And notice that this one says something substantial. This is her online code of conduct, and if I flip this over, you can see that it lines up with that on the back. Same thing with strong sentence starters. So right here, this is her strong sentence starters, and if I flip this over, That's where her strong sentence starters are. And then the do's and don'ts of student communication, that's where this is on here as well. So you want to make sure that they line up and that you have an interesting illustration for each one. So now that you've completed your foldable, the next step is to complete the rubric. So this is worth 40 points right here. So you're going to complete the rubric by explaining the illustrations that you used and the reason why. Make sure that you grade your own work, and then you're going to have a peer grade you. So let's take a closer look at this rubric here. So this is the rubric that I paper clipped together. So if you read right here, it says explain each article you chose and why you feel they are important to our online digital learning community. Each statement should be about 2 to 3 sentences. So what you're going to do is you're going to handwrite on here. Make sure that your name is at the top right here. Make sure that you're writing your block or the period and the date. All right, and then in this box, this is where you're going to explain why you made the illustrations and how you use them. Then you're going to grade yourself in this column. A peer is going to grade you, and then I'm going to grade you in that last column. So if I'm going through and I'm grading on here, so this is worth 40 points right here, and you can tell because it says it right here. So if I'm grading myself and I want to give myself a 40 on here, then I'm going to go ahead and give myself a 40. Then I'm going to hand it over to a peer. Make sure that your peer writes their name right here at the top. So I do need the peer name right here at the top. And then they're going to go down this column and they're going to grade you over here. So if they read through this, they make sure that you have everything in here. And they want to give you a 40 on this one, then they're going to double check your work and make sure that you have a 40 here. Then they're going to look for creativity. So did you do all of this that's in this box here? This box is worth 20 points. All right, so if they feel that you deserve 20 points, they're going to go ahead and give you 20 points right here. They're going to go ahead and read through your writing. So they're going to read through all of your writing on the back. Make sure that you have everything that you need. And if they feel like you deserve a 20, they're going to give you a 20 here. And then the presentation, the last thing, is this nice and neat? Was it put together nicely? Is the name on the artwork? So again, if you have all of this stuff in here, you're gonna your peer is gonna go ahead and give you a 20. And remember, you're gonna go ahead down and you're gonna grade yourself as well. All right, so I can't stress this enough. Make sure that your name is on here. You've completed the rubric. And what you're going to do next is you're going to take all of this together and you are going to paper clip this together. So I have my foldable on here and I have my paper, and I'm going to paper clip them together. And I'm going to put this in the purple folder. So I'm going to find my block. I'm going to place this in here, all paper clipped together, and turn it in. And the last thing that you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you put away all the materials that you took out today, all right? So make sure that you put the glue back over in the glue bin. Make sure that you put the scissors back. Make sure you're carrying the scissors like this. So you don't want to carry scissors like this because you could hurt somebody, and Miss Samuels does not like blood, so you don't want to do that. So make sure you're carrying the scissors like this and you put those away. Make sure that you throw out your trash. And again, keep all the markers in the bin, but you want to put the markers back over there. Make sure you're putting them in the right spot, and the same thing with the colored pencils. All right, and then you're all done.